If you knew the power of the words that you say to yourself every day, you will never, ever talk like an asshole to yourself. Do you know these people that seem to have it all? Those lucky people? I used to have this friend in school, and everything just worked out for her. She was this typical happy-go-lucky girl, and I truly believe that she's just more blessed in life, and I can never be that way. So instead of getting jealous or frustrated, I started to watch her, and I realized something really major, something that changed everything. It wasn't that she was more blessed in life or that the universe is conspiring against me. She refused to say nasty things to herself and think badly about herself. So in this video, you will learn the importance of self-talk and how to change your inner dialogue so you can begin to change your life and manifest everything you desire. I will break down exactly how you talk to yourself so it doesn't feel weird or like you're lying to yourself, what to say, how to say it, and I will teach you how to create immediate shifts by rephrasing and using self-talk for getting everything that you want. Remember, the most important words that you will ever hear are the words that you say to yourself. You will never ever speak words that are not in alignment with your goals and desires and the person that you dream of being. So, like always, I have chapters for you so you can follow along in the video. So let's dive right in. What is negative self-talk? I mean, you're a smart cookie. Self-talk is obviously the way you talk to yourself, your inner voice. You might not be aware that you're actually doing it, that you're talking to yourself, but you are. Your inner voice combines conscious thoughts with inbuilt beliefs and biases to create an internal monologue throughout the day. It can be supportive and beneficial, motivating you, or it can be negative, undermining your confidence. Negative self-talk is when your inner voice is excessively negative, sounding more like an inner critic or a bully. Your inner voice is pessimistic and focuses always on the bad, and it minimizes anything good that is happening. You literally have sunglasses on, negative sunglasses, and everything that you experience is filtered through that negativity lens. Your negative self-talk is literally destroying your confidence, your self-esteem, and is keeping you from reaching your whole potential. It makes you feel like you're going to fail before you even start. And it sounds like,
I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm not good at this. I've tried everything. Nothing works.
It's a little bit whiny. Negative self-talk is also really repetitive and it does not reflect reality. But let's be real, it feels good to complain and moan and to gossip and be kind of negative. And even though it might hurt in a twisted way, it also feels kind of good to put yourself down. And you feel like it's strange and awkward to say nice things to yourself. You don't want to get a big head or be seen as arrogant or full of yourself. And it feels really familiar to say nasty things about yourself. Maybe you even think this is motivating because bullying is such a great motivator. Who doesn't love it when your boss yells at you? Bullying yourself is not motivating. It's actually really harmful long term. It might be motivating in the short term, but long term, it has a really negative effect on your mental health. There are reasons why you have to ditch your negative self-talk ASAP. So when you have more positive self-talk and you actually start talking to yourself in a motivating way, you will increase your confidence and you will be then more resilient to overcome challenges. You will have a stronger belief in yourself and that you can actually achieve things and that you can do things, that you have your own back and that you can fail and fall down and you can get back up. Because things happen, but you build that self-trust with yourself, but it all comes down to how you talk to yourself. You will just be more able to embrace change as well. And that is so important because when you embark on your self-growth and self-development journey and you want to start manifesting bigger things in your life, you will have to change. Every result that you have currently in your life is because of who you are right now. So if you want different results, you need to become a different version of who you are and you have to be able to deal with change. When you have this negative self-talk, change is going to be really hard and really frustrating. So positive self-talk isn't just a mindset, it's literally a way of life. It needs to become a habit. It needs to become who you are. You are the kind of person who says nice things about herself, who thinks nice thoughts about herself. And by really embracing positive self-talk, you can really cultivate a mindset of resilience. And this is what you need in order to reach your goals. Because the most successful people are not the luckiest people. They are really highly resilient people. And now in chapter 3, we're going to talk about how you actually change your self-talk, actual step-by-step instruction. The first step in changing negative self-talk is becoming aware of your thinking, of how you actually talk about yourself. Because it might be so natural and so ingrained already that you're not even aware that you're doing it. It's just so normal. So you have to get that awareness. You have to zone out into like a bird's perspective and see what you're actually saying to yourself. And do not judge yourself for it, okay? Don't get angry with yourself or upset. That's That's not the goal here. It's literally just completely judgment-free, just pure observation. Start paying attention to your thoughts and notice when they become self-critical and negative. And then the next thing after the awareness part is you want to do something that is called pattern interrupt. You want to stop that automation. What is happening is that your negative self-talk is only a habit that you have created. Break that habit by interrupting the automation, the automated pattern that your brain has. So basically you want to interrupt the automated behavior of thinking negative things about yourself. If you have a thought like,
I'm just so useless, or I'm so lazy, I can't do it, I cannot bring myself to sit down and do the work.
you want to interrupt this. You want to be like, stop. Literally, what also helps me personally is you visualize a stop sign in your head, like stop thinking this. It really helps to stop that pattern because it can really spiral real quickly. You can also do that with things like habits that you want to stop, like overeating, going to the cupboard when you're bored and like start to snack. You're going to say, stop, we're not doing this anymore. This is not the behavior we're doing anymore. And then you do something else instead. Instead of pattern interrupt, you can also start to challenge your negative self-talk. Once you're aware of negative self-talk coming in, you start to challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if there is evidence to support them or if they are based on assumption and distortion. We should see our thoughts as facts, but they're not facts. They are just opinions that we have. And we really want to make it clear to our brain that this is not factual, that this is just an opinion based in certain biases that we might have. And the next step is you want to really start to practice self-compassion. And do not roll your eyes. This is really important. You need to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend or a partner facing a similar situation. Because the way you talk to yourself, you would never ever talk to a friend or your partner or your parents or whoever you really love. And your negative self-talk is almost a sign of a lack of self-love for yourself. So we want to activate that self-love. You need to start to treat yourself like your best friend. You are the person who spends the most time with yourself. You are always with you every minute of every day until the rest of your life. No other person is like this for you in your life. Not your child, not your partner, your parents who might really love other people, but you are the person that you spend literally your whole life with. So you really need to start to respect and love yourself. What life is it to spend so much time with one person and just not liking that person? So think about how would your behavior towards yourself change if you are actually your best friend, and how would you start talking to yourself? The next step is start using positive affirmations. Replace negative thoughts with a positive affirmation. Repeat affirmations such as I am capable, I can do this, I can do hard things, I am worthy, I deserve happiness and success. And you really want to start to do that regularly. This is the problem that I have personally with affirmations, because oftentimes they sound really hollow and they're just like words and they don't actually connect or activate something in you. If you have an affirmation that sounds kind of flat for you, it doesn't work. You need to have an affirmation that is actually creating a shift in your body, an energy shift. You need to feel it. If you don't feel it, don't say it. For example, the affirmation I'm worthy doesn't do anything for me. That is not a word that I would use. So you need to find an affirmation that works for you. That can be a different affirmation every day. And sometimes an affirmation works for a while and then it stops working. So you also need to find things that constantly work, and you will always notice how it feels in your body. The next step is to surround yourself with positivity and positive people in your life. You need to look at your friendships and you need to look at your partner. You need to look at family members, but you have to set clearer boundaries where you maybe have to let people go who don't create a positive feeling for you. Maybe some people who are really negative themselves and they bring that energy to you, and then you take that energy on. You need to learn to let toxic people go, even though it's really hard. You want to spend more time with supportive and uplifting and empowering people that make you feel good about yourself. And the same goes for social media. Surround yourself with positive people on social media and not people who trigger you in a negative way. Don't feel bad for unfollowing them. Don't think that's motivating to see people with amazing bodies if that triggers you in a negative way and makes you feel bad about yourself. It obviously doesn't work. Anything that makes you feel restrained and like kind of doesn't work. It's not motivating. Create a feed on social media that feels uplifting and powerful. Stop gossiping. Stop putting like negative input into your brain. All that will then fuel negativity and will keep your negative self-talk alive. The next step is to practice gratitude. And I know you've heard it a zillion times. So what I like to do is I like to think about things that I'm grateful for. And also I don't force myself to do it. It's not like this to-do list I have to now be grateful. Oftentimes I just have moments moments where I really tap into gratefulness. So for example, when I see people struggling here in Berlin to find a flat, and I have a beautiful flat, and then I feel so grateful that I have that. For me, it happens oftentimes more organically, but then I really try to embrace that feeling. Or when I hear that one of my friends' parents are ill, and then I just tap into like deep gratefulness that my parents are all right. Things like that work for me better than a gratitude journal, but whatever works for you, you just need to find a practice that really helps you to tap into that deep feeling of gratefulness. And the next step is you want to challenge perfectionism. You need to learn to accept that nobody is perfect and that it's okay to make mistakes. Your brain needs to understand that this is part of life. Your brain will argue that you need to do things perfectly in order to get your goal, to be a certain way, to be loved, to be accepted, whatever it is. This is false. This is a thought error that your brain is doing. It's not true. It's actually the opposite. You cannot be perfect. It's not gonna work. People who are online and who try to tell you that they are so perfect, believe me, they are not, or they really truly hate themselves. They really truly bully themselves to keep up that perfect routines. It's not going to work long term. And if they fall off the wagon, oh my God, I don't want to know what these people do to themselves and how they talk to themselves. And you are not that kind of person, because we're not doing negative self-talk anymore. And you're not going to bully yourself into perfection. Falling is really part of growth and development, and you need to learn to embrace that. Before a toddler can walk, it literally falls over and over again, and every time it gets a little bit stronger when it gets up again. If you start to fall, it's just part of reaching your goal. It's part of the deal of getting to your goal, is that you will fall down along the way. It's not about never falling, right? Being perfect. It's about how fast you then get up when you fall. It's about how fast you bounce back when you fall, which you will. Manifesting is all about energy, and if you constantly cultivate low energy and have this like negative self-talk, you reinforce through your words that you will never ever get certain things. You will create low manifestations. You will attract shitty men, lack of opportunities, toxic people, and misfortune. So here's a vibrational chart, and you see exactly what emotions vibrate really low, have a really low frequency. And any self-talk that you have that is reinforcing those really low frequency emotions, this talk has to go, okay? This goes in the bin. Bye-bye. We can really shift our energy quickly by rephrasing. So the first thing you really want to stop is saying I am statements, and you want to start to slowly rephrase them. Things like,
I am a procrastinator. I am lazy.
what we want to say instead is I procrastinate sometimes. I do the action of procrastinating. That is different to I am a procrastinator. I am a procrastinator is literally my identity, and we don't want to reinforce negative identities that will actually keep us from reaching our goal. It will keep us on a low vibration, and we don't want to be on a low vibration because we want to manifest amazing things into your life, and we want to match the vibration of that manifestation. In order to do that, we want to have a really good energy, and saying things like,
I am lazy, I am bad, I'm a bad friend.
we're not going to say these things. Sometimes you have moments where you maybe don't show up in your friendship. Sometimes you have moments where you get really frustrated with your partner, or sometimes you have moments where you don't feel good about your body. That feels a lot less intense than I am. And then things that you say that feel very definite, but that don't actually create a good energy for you. For example, I don't like the term imposter syndrome. People say, I have imposter syndrome. No, you don't have imposter syndrome. It's not like something that you just have. It sounds like a disease or something. Like, no. You can say, I'm having an imposter moment, or I feel like an imposter in certain situation. How does this feel compared to I have imposter syndrome? Completely different energy in your body. Then things like I can't. Anything that has this negative connotation, you need to pay attention to. Things like I don't know how to do this versus I can figure this out. Proactive, positive. I can versus I can't statement. If you catch yourself thinking I'm not good enough or I can't do this, replace this with I am capable, I can try, I can figure this out. It really makes me feel I'm in control, I'm confident, I have my own back. It's okay if I fail, I can just figure it out. That is the ultimate emotion, like I got this. And that creates self-confidence, and that creates a really good energy and positivity. But you need to be careful with jumping too much into the positive when it comes to rephrasing, okay? So you don't want to go into something that you don't believe and that doesn't actually feel true to you. For example, if you think, oh, I hate my body, you probably won't be able to go to I love my body. Instead of jumping all the way to I love my body, we're just gonna go a little step. You could say something like, I accept my body, I have a body, without any negativity, just I have a body, that's what I have. It's very neutral, but this is already better than I hate my body. So you could say, I have a body, I only have this one body and it needs me to take good care of itself, and then immediately you start to feel a little bit of a spark, a little bit of love and compassion for yourself instead of putting yourself down. So I hope this was helpful if you want to become a master manifester and start living your dream life and ditch your excuses. Then make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And if you feel like you need a little bit of a confidence boost and get out of your own way, then make sure to watch this real talk video about becoming a confident woman. This will literally blow your mind. Okay guys, I speak to you soon. Bye!